Have you been looking for a beach town to live in? Maybe you've been considering places along the East Coast. Virginia Beach, where my wife and I live, it's a very nice place. We love the beach. We're definitely water people. We are in the water all summer long. But recently, she and I have been considering purchasing another property, maybe in Florida. You know, one of the things that we like most about where we live is the access to the water. And while we've got outstanding access to the water, there are certain times of the year that it's just not warm enough to access it. We do have snow. It's not uncommon to be in the 30s to 40s, in particular in December, January, February. Those are definitely our coldest months. And of course, there are other areas, Florida in particular, that they don't necessarily go through that. Yeah, they might have snow in some of the northern areas every once in a while, but it's rare. And the further south you go, of course, you get less and less cold weather. So we've been considering investing in real estate in Florida, and in fact, we've been touring around a lot of the coastal towns. And this week, we're actually in Daytona Beach. Had a meeting in Lake Mary with LPT, which was a great meeting. Love meeting some of my colleagues out there. But we took the opportunity to look at some real estate in Daytona Beach, and I'll show you some of the clips of the beach itself. And I've got to say, the beach is beautiful. We've got a great ocean front in Virginia Beach. There's an enormous amount of work that's been done to revitalize the ocean front. So we've got a beautiful beach there too. But the fact that you can still drive on the beach out here in Daytona, and it is, I will show you real quick, it is just so wide. It's uncommon. At least it's uncommon in my experience. So it creates a great experience. Somebody just rode by on a one wheel on the sand. That's definitely not happening in Virginia Beach. One, because Virginia Beach officials aren't going to let you do it, but two, because that thing's going to be stuck. So that's just the way it is. So there are some great things about Daytona that I've really come to appreciate in just the short amount of time we've been here. We've been here for a couple days, actually on two different occasions, on the way down, on the way back up. We took a little bit more time just to get a better feel of the vibe that is Daytona Beach. And while there's a lot of similarities to Virginia Beach, there's definitely a lot of differences as well. You know, of course, I'm looking at this from an investment perspective, so you can imagine that one of the things that I'm looking at is it a worthy investment? And there are definitely opportunities in Daytona Beach where Virginia Beach has really been going through a revitalization since even before the pandemic. Daytona, it hasn't really gotten here yet. If you go down to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Stewart, which we've looked at, you're definitely going to see it. There's lots of modern buildings. Most homes near the beach in particular have been flipped or maybe even taken down and new homes built in a lot of those areas. But it's not quite gotten this far north yet, which is, the locals probably love it, because as that comes, so does a lot more growth. The price of housing goes up, and it's not, while the housing's definitely going up in this area, it's not going up as much as in some of the other coastal areas. So when I look at Daytona, one of the things that attracted me to Daytona was just the price of entry. So, you know, in Daytona Beach, the average median home still rings in under $300,000. I've actually looked at a couple homes while we've been here for under 200. In fact, a couple just turning over $114,000, and these are 3-1s, 2-1s in some cases. They're primarily block homes, which I actually love. If you're going to live near the beach, you want elevation and you want rigidity. In Hampton Roads, we do get hurricanes on occasion. Of course, down in Florida, they see them a little bit more often, just because of their proximity to the warmer waters. So it's something that I was looking for in a home down here. And let me tell you, there are some super cute homes down here. I don't mean any disrespect when I call them cute, because there's some huge monstrosities. But if you're in a situation where we are, where I don't have children at home, we're gonna come down and spend a week, a month, 6 months, the rest of our life, I don't need a lot of space. We've got a decent sized home in Virginia Beach, and we just don't need that much space anymore. That's one of the things that attracted me to some of these smaller homes that I have called cute. But there's some really nice homes, and in that respect, it didn't disappoint. The average home in Virginia Beach is just a little bit over $415,000. The last research I had showed me where and that's really an entry. To find a home under $200,000 that you could actually move into on MLS would be pretty tough. There's a lot of investors in Virginia Beach, in particular in the Hampton Roads area, and really across Hampton Roads, especially if you're in close proximity to the water, which almost all of Hampton Roads is. I mean, you can nearly throw a rock in any direction and from a lot of areas and it'd be in the water. So that's a little bit of an exaggeration. But it just means that there's very few homes in Hampton Roads that aren't a target for investors at the right price. And I mean, granted, that can be said for any market, but I'll tell you what I've seen while I've been in Daytona that very rarely I would see in Hampton Roads, in any city, not just Virginia Beach, but I'm seeing homes just empty, not dilapidated homes. These are homes that could be lived in. We passed a stretch of 4 homes today that brand new construction, block homes, I'd say about 1,200 square foot. One of them had a 2-car garage that construction is just stopped, and that's not completely uncommon in Florida right now, and a number of the markets where construction has been very hot and heavy. And in this area, this wasn't a new development. This was a street that I suspect someone has come in, bought up a number of homes, maybe an empty lot, a couple empty lots, and they started building new homes because the market was improving in this area, and people are looking for affordable, near water communities. And there are a number of those here in Daytona in particular, because you've not only got the ocean, but you've also got the river access. The Halifax River runs through. It's a beautiful river. The bridges here, it's really picturesque as you're crossing the river onto the barrier island that most of the East Coast has, but we don't have in Virginia Beach. A meteorite took care of that a few million years ago, so we don't have that in Hampton Roads, which is probably why the early settlers chose that, because they were to drive their boats right up in, drive them right up inland. But that's a sign to see those homes that have been not abandoned, but the developers have said, hey, you know what, I'm not going to continue investing money into this new construction because I can't get a return on my investment. And that is happening in a number of areas, in particular in some areas where there's some larger communities. You're seeing new home builders start offering lots of incentives to buy homes, and in some cases The newest homes in these developments are in fact cheaper than the homes they built just a couple years ago. So that's real. That's happening in Florida. It's putting pressure on the market, and as a result, some sellers are seeing lower prices in some areas and longer days on market. That leads me to the next stat that I would be concerned in as an investor, looking at Daytona versus Virginia Beach. So the average days on market in Virginia Beach is about 12 to 15 days. It's a seller's market. It's hot. Not as hot as it was a couple years ago, but it's still a strong market for real estate, for sellers in particular. And these homes, they go quick. They go for ask. In most cases, we're seeing a little bit of pressure on that, but not a lot, especially if it was priced right to begin with. When I say priced right, I mean priced at market value. You can't just move in a house last year and add 5%, 10% and expect for it to sell. Those days, they're not here right now. That may have happened a couple years ago. I actually just recently sold a home that appreciated almost 20% in a year. So those opportunities are there, but they're not as common as they were. But in Daytona Beach, the market is pretty flat. I actually looked at a home today that was sold a few months ago, actually the beginning of the year. It was flipped and it's for sale. And the seller has already taken a $50,000 price cut on the home over a period of months. This is a home that's been completely rehabbed, so they probably have a pretty penny in that home, and they're trying to get their money back. Plus, you've got holding costs. Plus, you've got real estate fees. And quite frankly, you're going to see a lot of homes on the market. In fact, less than 13% of homes sell within 30 days in Daytona Beach right now, and over half of them are on the market for over 90 days. So that's where it becomes interesting from an investment standpoint, though. So when you see the days on market continue to go up, that gives you a great opportunity to go in and negotiate with sellers. You know, for example, the home that's taking a $50,000 haircut already. You know, if I were your agent, I'd say, hey, look, you want that home? Is that the one for you? Let's go and give them an offer, right? Let's start the negotiation. During the pandemic, a lot of people were really hesitant to put in low offers. I completely understand it, because it was very likely that the next offer that came in behind you was going to be at ask or higher, and was probably going to get it. But that market's not here. When you've got someone who's been on the market for 90, 120, I've seen them as long as 365 days. Those buyers, if they're not motivated now, they're going to be. And especially if it's empty, because holding costs continue to rack up. In particular, if it was an investment property, those holding costs are real. Those investors need to take that capital and redeploy it somewhere else. Investors don't just invest in real estate. Investors like myself, I don't just invest in real estate. I invest in stocks as well, right? There are other things that I could put my money in and get a return more quickly than letting it set and decay, quite frankly. When you have a home that's empty for a long time, you got to worry about moisture buildup. You got to worry about damage that's done by others to the homes, right? There's lots of things that you have to be concerned about as a home sets on the market. In particular, when it sets on the market for sale, you're effectively advertising that it's empty in some cases. Which, if you were working with me, we would discuss all that. There's some things you can do. No reason to worry about selling your home, because there are safeguards you can put in place to make sure that you are covered there. So, but the long and the short of it is, Would I buy in Daytona? Maybe. I think the market is kind of in a turning point. I do still see some development going on, but not as much as I do in some other areas. So you're not likely to see the amount of appreciation in real estate here as you're seeing in some other areas. The rental market is pretty stable from what I could tell. Just the limited research that I did while I was here for my own good, there's not a lot for rent, which tells me that when things go on the market for rent, they get rented more quickly. The rental values aren't as high as they would be in Hampton Roads, regardless of the city, for the most part. In particular near the water, you would see double, triple the price of rent in Virginia Beach, for example, than you're going to see here, where a home that is renting for $1,200 a month here in Virginia Beach is going to be, that same home is going to be at least $2,200, $2,400 a month. And quite frankly, you wouldn't find that house. I mean, this is, these are houses that are 3 homes from the beach, and you're just not going to find that in Virginia Beach, probably for rent at all. And if it is, it's probably going to be $3,000-$4,000, because quite frankly, it's probably been through an extensive rehab. There are always exceptions, but that's what I see in my research. So Virginia Beach, if you got the cash, or if you have the income to get a note, it's still a very strong market. I love the area. I've lived there for my entire life. I've got 53 years invested in Hampton Roads, and I am so excited to be moving into another stage in my life where I can start bringing financial freedom to others through real estate. And that's why I've pursued real estate full time. That's why I'm helping others like you find ways to invest in real estate. I couldn't be here today if I hadn't bought my first home at 28 years old. If you're older than 28, doesn't mean that it's too late. But it does mean I'd get started. Even if you're 30, 40, even 50, 60 years old, there are still opportunities for you to invest your money in a safe way, and grow your financial independence, right? And I went from a mortgage at over 8% in 1999 to having 3, 4 paid for homes, right? No mortgage, and that allows me to draw some rental income, right? And that's really what's made me pursue real estate at this stage of my life. I want to help others like you in your pursuit to financial independence, and I'm super excited about this journey. I'm super excited helping others being able to go and do this. And if you're looking to buy in Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads area, give me a call. My number is 757-218-8000. I'll leave it in the description. Reach out, connect. We'll get on a Zoom. No commitment. I just try to help you out and help you make some plans for your future. And if you're looking to buy somewhere else, I've got a great network across the country with LPT, and I'd be happy to pair you up with someone who's got your best interest in mind. Being an agent first brokerage, we are centered on finding people that want to help clients. We're not trying to build a monster brokerage. We're trying to build a group of agents that want to service their customers, and thereby we're going to grow this brokerage. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm so excited about the future. But that doesn't matter to you. It does, because we are revolutionizing the real estate business, not just for agents, but for our clients as well, with just outstanding tools. I mean, our ability to market properties are really second to none. I've not seen anything anywhere similar, and that's being in this, being on the sidelines with my wife, who's also an agent for the last 13 years, assisting her, and being an investor for over 20 years. So if you want to know some more, if you've got a place that you'd like for me to go and take a look and review, I'd love to do that, especially it's near the beach. Leave me a comment. Let me know. You've got thoughts about Daytona that I might have got it wrong. I've only been here for a little over, I've probably got 36 hours invested in Daytona right now, and there's lots of things that I'm liking about Daytona, but is it time for me to invest here? It's probably not. I've got my search set up. I'm going to get, if the right price comes up, if the right house at the right price comes up, I wouldn't hesitate to jump on it. But I understand that it's going to be a longer play than if I were to look even at home where I live. But there's lots of great markets across the country, and I can help you get in one of them. Just give me a shout, and I'll get you connected, and I'll follow through with you, and we'll get you that home that you love. So thanks for listening, everybody, and until next time, I'll see you. Bye.